Hey everybody, welcome back to Langston's Bookiverse. Thanks again for clicking on my second video. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different from a book review, and so I just found out about this thing called the BookTube Newbie Tag. And this was created originally, and I wanted to give credit to this person because this was created by Brenda C. At least that's what it says on this wiki page that I'm looking at right now. But yeah, it seems like she created it in 2014. So yeah, just wanted to credit her. But I saw a bunch of other people doing it on YouTube, so I thought it was like a fun way to sort of introduce myself to you guys, and so let you guys get a better idea of who I am and why I started the channel, and some of the things I'm interested in reading. So I guess with that, let's go ahead and start. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? I think I mentioned this in my last video. I started the channel because I fell into BookTube about a year ago, and I thought it was really cool how people could like geek out and nerd out about the books that they were reading. I'd also just recently started getting back into reading, so I sort of stumbled upon BookTube as a result of getting back into reading because I found myself needing to talk about the book that I had just read, and some of my friends and family in real life didn't want to listen to me, so I was like, okay, let me take it to the internet, because that's, the next best thing. I don't know, but you know what I mean. So yeah. Question 2 is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? That's a good question. I might have to think on that a little bit. Again, I'm not really planning this out. I'm not really planning my responses to these questions too much. I think my personality, I like to think of myself as a pleasant person. I mean, I guess it's not super unique because there's tons of other booktubers who are just as kind and just as pleasant to talk to. So, but I guess I can maybe bring up my scientific perspective. Some of the books that I read have some cool science behind them, or it's sort of built into the world, and I like that. Like N.K. Jemisin, who's my favorite author, some of the books that she's written recently, she builds, you can tell that she's done her research when she's talking about these complicated scientific topics in the worlds that she creates. So I think I could give my perspective on that. Question 3: What are you most excited about for this new channel? I think I'm just excited to finally have an outlet to talk about the books that I've been reading. I guess I haven't really had that too much. I am a part of a book club in my area. I live in North Carolina, so I am part of a book club, but we only meet like once a month, and I need more. It's not enough for me. And sorry, my screen was shaking. That's cool. So yeah, question number, what are we on? Question number 4: Why do you love reading? I realized I loved reading when I found myself being sucked into a story. Like you are so engaged with the book and with the characters, and when you look up like when you look up from a book, or when you pause, you know, your audiobook, it's like you can tell you were sucked into that world, because you suddenly realize, oh, I'm in the real world right now. I have things to do. I just love getting lost in that. Let's see. What book or series got you into reading? So, I guess I could answer this question in a few different ways, because I don't know if I think I said this in my last video. I sort of fell on and off of reading a few times in my life. So I think the very first book or book series that I read when I was really little, it was, I cannot remember the name of the books or of the series, but it was these middle grade books that were about these kids who went to this like strange high school. They just knew that their English, I think they thought their English teacher was a vampire. They thought that there was a dragon in the school cafeteria that was making pizzas. They thought their I think it was like their PE coach was a zombie. And so, like, each book was sort of based off of that idea that, like, oh, the teachers, like, the teachers and other staff in the school are weird. Maybe they're some sort of mythical creature. I want to say one of the titles was, like, Dragons Don't Cook Pizza, something like that, something along those lines. If you know the series, or if you're able to find it, let me know, because I would love to actually revisit those books. That would actually be a cool idea for a video. So there's that question. Question 6. What questions would you ask your favorite YouTubers? I think I would ask them, I think I'd ask them how has starting a BookTube channel changed your reading, or the way you read, like, if at all. I wonder about that sometimes. Like, right now, I think I only have like 1 subscriber, so shout out to you. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. I think that person like subscribed to me like 2 or 3 years ago, so I don't know what you were expecting, because I wasn't doing anything back then. But shout out to you, whoever you are. So yeah. Question 7. What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think, honestly, and this is like a weird, like, I'm not super worried about it, but I do think it will be a hard thing to overcome. The YouTube algorithm is weird. Like, the way you get views is weird. I guess I do sort of have this, not a fear, but I don't know, I need a not as strong word as that. Worry? I feel like that's too strong a word. But I guess I have this worry that, like, I'm gonna put out like 50 videos and no one's gonna watch them. No one's gonna watch, no one's gonna subscribe. Like, after 50 videos, I'm gonna be like, oh, still no views. Cool. So, but that's all I can really think of, because for me, this is just fun. This is just a fun thing that I wanted to do. So, yeah. When did I start reading? So I started reading, I think I sort of answered this before in a previous question. I started reading in, I want to say 3rd grade? Yeah, that sounds about right. I think that's the earliest, or at least that's the earliest I can remember reading. So yeah, about 3rd grade. Where do you read? I usually read at home. Yeah, at home, in my bed. Yeah, at home in bed. That's usually where I read physical books. For audiobooks, I sort of listen to those really everywhere. That's part of the reason why I like audiobooks so much, is because I can take my book with me anywhere I want and sort of multitask a bit. Like whenever I mostly work from home, but whenever I have to drive to the lab where I work at, I can just put on my audiobook and enjoy that while I'm driving. Even when I'm just driving to the store, I'll just put on my audiobook. When I'm at home, what I really like to do is when I'm home and I have an audiobook, I'll like to put on a game. Like I'll start gaming and listening to my audiobook at the same time. And I can do it. Like sometimes it's hard for me to do that and multitask, but that's usually only if the game also has an engaging story that I have to that I'm trying to pay attention to. Then I can't really listen to an audiobook and pay attention to the story of this game at the same time. But if it's something like what is Pokemon Legends Arceus, so I've been playing that for a while. It's really, really fun. I love that game so much. But so, once I mostly got over the story, or got the main idea of the story, I would listen to audiobooks while I play. I really like playing City Skylines, so like that game, I can just sort of cut my brain off and play and also listen to an audiobook. So yeah. Next question is, what kinds of books do you like to read? I'm a fantasy guy. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to be a fantasy guy. I loved Harry Potter. Yes, I know that there's a whole controversy. Well, not controversy, because there's nothing I feel like there's nothing controversial about transphobia, but y'all know what I mean. It's like this whole thing about J.K. Rowling. But I still love the Harry Potter books. I think that's something that's one of the series that got me back into reading when I was younger. When I was younger and had fallen off of reading. So yeah, I'm a fantasy guy. Give me some wizards, give me some mages, give me some knights, some castles, some dragons, some mythical creatures. Give me all that good stuff. Inject it into my veins. Another genre I really like is sci-fi. So yeah, give me some aliens, give me some aliens, give me some spaceships, a blaster, whatever. So yeah, that's sort of a close second. But I really, really like, I don't know if there's this own genre, but people who are able to sort of incorporate or combine sci-fi and fantasy together. N.K. Jemisin, again, is really good at doing that. I think that's part of the reason why she's one of my favorite authors. She's just able to use sci-fi and technology and blend it with magic so well. Yeah, I hope I can write like her one day. So yeah, and last question, and I guess this one is optional, at least on the page that I'm looking at. What does your book collection look like? So I used to have a book collection a few years ago. Actually, not too long ago. So my family and I are in the middle of a move. We're staying at this apartment. We've been at this apartment for about a year while our new house is being built. But before we moved, I did have a good book. I did have a bookshelf, and it had it had sort of random books that I picked up, that I just picked up, or that my younger brother had picked up. And now that I've switched over to predominantly audiobooks, I don't really have a physical book collection. But once we move into the new house, I do want to work on getting hard copies of books that I really, really enjoyed. So, like, pretty much every book by N.K. Jemisin, I want to get hard copies of those. I'm probably going to get a hard copy of Harry Potter, of the Harry Potter series. Yeah, things like that. Yeah. So, oh, that's all the questions. Okay. So, well, thanks guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. You know, if you like what I'm doing, tell your friends. And I think this video will probably be up Wednesday the 16th. I'm gonna try to plan to have it up. Then. So yeah, I think there was one other thing I wanted to mention. Oh, so real quick, I wanted to say that I am currently reading. I just started The Lives of Tao, so that'll probably be my next book that I talk about. I might also go back and do a review of the past few books I've been reading this year, just to put some more videos out there. But yeah, so thanks again for listening. I really appreciate it, and hope you guys have a good one. See ya.